Python. This session we'll be learning about classes, objects, object-oriented programming, and more about Python. So let's get started with some slides. Python classes and objects first. So what are these classes and why do we need them? The short answer would be a class is like an object, constructor, or a blueprint for creating objects. So what are objects then? So classes and objects are terms used in object-oriented programming, where it is assumed that using a certain way of programming helps in maintaining the code for further development, and it is easy to add new features to your code. We will learn more about object-oriented programming later in this session, but first let's know about what are classes and what are objects. So classes in Python can be created with the keyword class, and then we can give them a name, whatever name we want that class to have. This is the way where we are defining a class. This is a place we will write all the details about this class. So for example, here we are creating car class. So all the details about this car and how to open it, how to buy it, what is the cost of it, and maybe a self-driving mode, the switch if there will be. So all these details will be inside this one class. So this defines a blueprint about this whole car. This is not the actual car, but it has all those informations about the real car. So as obviously if in the real Tesla car, they might have only one blueprint of the real car, but there are many cars, exact many cars of the same model might be available on the road right now. So all the models which are available on the road are the objects of the same class. So for the same model, the blueprint was created only once, but with seeing those blueprint, uh, people created their own version of the car and the factory created that version of a car and sold it. So all the models which they sold are the objects, while the one stored in some research laboratory is that class or the blueprint of that car. So the same terminology in a code is class is that blueprint and the object is the instance of that class. So class we will define only once, but objects of the similar class can be in theoretically infinite. Can have as many as objects from a particular only one class. And why do we need this class is because as with the example uh, with the car, the blueprint must have all the information about the car. So from price to how to drive it and all the details about the engine, if they are in the same place, it's easy for a person to see. And to if there's some fault, it's easy for another person to judge it and to see where the fault is. What if we had engine in some other if we had details about engine in some other factory and the details about the pricing in other factories and details about the self-driving in somewhere else, and then the person might not understand where exactly the problem is within the car if it gets broke down. So this is why we need everything in one space. This is why we create a class so that we can have all the details about the model of the thing which we want to create at one place. So it's better in the future. It's easy for us in future to work upon that. So let's, after saying this, let's create a class in Python with some code. This is our text editor here. Now, as with the example, let's say class is a keyword, then we want car. Car will be the name of the class we are making. The colon, then automatically it gives us a space where we can write inside this class. Inside this class, we want the name to be Tesla. So this is where we have defined the class. Now maybe my car, and we make an object my car of type class, and then we added the parentheses to act upon this class. Now I can have this car is my car, and there can be other car of the same class, and there can be more models of the same type of car. So all of these cars, these objects are of same classes, and they are all the car class, and these are different objects. Now, as in the code, we have written name equals to Tesla. This name is called property of this object. So this is where we defined it once, but every object got this property. So to get or to extract this property, what we do is we add dot, then the name of that property. So let's try to print the name of my car model. We can say my car, which is which is the object, then name dot name, because name is a property variable. Let's save this and run our code. We got Tesla. As it is the name of the car, we can replace this with other model, or you can say other object. Let's run our code again. We got the same result, Tesla, because even their car is from the same model, or the object is made from the same class. That's why their properties are same. Let's know more about the classes in further slides. So as this was the name, this is the place where I give the name for our class, and this is how we extract or access the property of an object.